Mayor Eric Adams is pushing back after multiple federal prosecutors quit instead of following an order to drop the case against him. One of the nation's top prosecutors called the order breathtaking and dangerous, saying it looks like Adams is being rewarded for agreeing to help President Trump's immigration crackdown. Now Adams is denying any quid pro quo.
Think about my attorney, Alex Spira, one of the top trial attorneys in the country. Imagine him going inside saying that the only way Mayor Adams is going to assist in immigration, which I was calling for since 2022, right, is if you drop the charges. That's quid pro quo. That's a crime. They articulated exactly weaponization. When you looked at leg room turning into bribery because I asked for a governmental entity to do a building inspection.
Senior investigative correspondent Aaron Katersky and ABC News legal contributor Kim Wehle are here with more on that. So, Aaron, we just saw Adams there sitting next to President Trump's border czar. So what are these prosecutors saying about their decision, and what do you make of the mayor's response?
Well, the prosecutors laid out their case in a series of memos to the Attorney General's office. Danielle Sassoon, who resigned her post as U.S. Attorney here in Manhattan, said that it seemed as if this was a quid pro quo, that in order to get his case dismissed, Adams would agree to help the Trump administration crack down on illegal immigration. And then there he was the next day sitting with Tom Homan agreeing to open the city's jail complex, Rikers Island, to the presence of ICE agents and agreeing to insert NYPD officers onto more federal task forces that could be involved in the immigration crackdown. He says he is not a hostage to anyone, but prosecutors, before they resigned anyway, saw evidence of a quid pro quo in the directive to drop the case. Danielle Sassoon refused to do it.
Kim, how significant is this move for some of the country's top prosecutors to resign rather than drop this case?
Well, the last time we saw this prominently was this famous Saturday Night Massacre under the Nixon administration. And the letter that Emile Beauvais wrote to Ms. Sassoon when she suggested her resignation is really breathtaking in terms of how he frames the role of prosecutors now under the Justice Department. He charges her with insubordination. He says that under the Constitution, that it's her job to implement the political will of the president, not necessarily to uphold the Constitution. This is a significant shift in how the Justice Department is going to operate. That is, it's based on loyalty to one man, not necessarily loyalty to the Constitution and the rule of law, which is why I think someone like her would take that step. She clerked for Justice Scalia. She was appointed by Donald Trump in this acting position. She's a member of the Federalist Society. This is not sort of a Democrat or a left-wing person. And let's keep in mind, Eric Adams himself is a Democrat. So to suggest it was a witch hunt along the lines of Biden getting after Republicans is just not consistent with the facts.
So, Aaron, federal prosecutors were actually preparing to bring more charges against Mayor Adams. What more can you tell us about that?
They were. In fact, they had been amassing evidence that the mayor may have tampered with some of the evidence or the witnesses in his case. I'm not sure that a superseding indictment was fully drawn up yet, but that was the direction the case was going. And a number of other associates of the mayor have either been investigated by the FBI, charged by various prosecutors' office. In fact, two of his associates have already pleaded guilty. And so where the U.S. attorney who just resigned said she saw evidence of guilt, some of that came directly from people associated with the mayor. But let's be clear, Diane, this case is going to be dismissed. The Justice Department will find a way, perhaps as soon as today. But this unprecedented turmoil comes as I think, a sign of maybe what's to come as the president and his administration try to gain more control over the Justice Department and even the sitting mayor of New York.
Kim, at this point, the criminal case against Adams still hasn't been dismissed. So what happens next?
Well, my understanding is it was transferred from New York, or to be transferred to the main justice, and then there will find, as Adam indicates, somebody to move to dismiss it, but under the criminal rules, federal criminal rules, the judge is going to have to agree to do that. And once it's actually been filed, expectations are the judge will do that because the judge doesn't have any mechanism to continue the case. But we might hear some interesting points from the court, given the turmoil and the really disturbing nature of this proceeding.
Aaron Katersky, Kim Wehle, thank you both.